First, I'd just like to open us in prayer before we start the meeting. So, Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day, Lord. I thank you for this church, and I thank you for Trail Life, Lord, and these families and the boys that are all coming together to participate this year, Lord. We just invite your presence here tonight and ask that you be with us and in us and through us in all that we do, and help us to do your will as we plan for this year and go forth and execute this program over the coming school year, Lord. We just pray that your will would be done in these boys' lives as we raise them up to be godly husbands, fathers, and citizens. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, so I'm Brian Feaster, and I'm the troop master here at Tennessee 2268. I'm going to go ahead and our committee chair, Nathan Wright, is home sick tonight, so I'm going to open up for him and just welcome everybody and thank you for coming out to our annual parent meeting. We're going to be going over the calendar tonight. We're going to be going over some new policies and procedures within the troop and talking about fees and dues, and then also giving you a little bit of a chance, if you haven't got on Traillife Connect, we're going to kind of get on there and show you how all that works online, how you can track your son's advancement, do calendar events and Rsvps and all that good stuff. We'll talk about the uniforms and other required materials that you have to participate in this year. And then we'll get a chance at the end to maybe take a look at the calendar and see where you can sign up to help participate and lead the troop and get a little more involved for each family. So with that, first I'll start talking about the calendar. Some highlights on the troop calendar this year. So tonight's our parent meeting, and then 2 weeks from tonight on the 16th of August is going to be our first meeting. At that first meeting, we'll probably do our advancement ceremony where any of the boys that are moving up a level into a new patrol, we'll have like a short ceremony for them to kind of graduate into that new level to start the year off. And then we'll go into our regular meeting. We also have our first camp out and hit the trail. The camp out's the 19th and 20th of August, and the hit the trail is that 20th of August. Another kind of family event is going to be on October 7th. We have the Memphis Tiger football game. And they're going to recognize American Heritage Girls in Trail Life at that football game. We can get special tickets at a reduced price to all sit together at that game if you're interested in going as a family. Another thing to look at is November 29th, we have an extra meeting on the calendar this year. We normally just meet the first and third Tuesdays of the month, but we're going to be meeting on November 29th also. That's an extra meeting to kind of help us get ready for the Christmas parade coming up, which is on December 2nd, just a couple days later. Then we have our Court of Honor on December 6th, which will be the awards for the fall. I guess I also skipped over another important thing we're doing is on November 15th. That's a Tuesday night meeting, but we're going to have a scheduled board of review. We've already got that on the calendar, so if you have any navigators, adventurers that are looking to make rank or advancement, that's their date that they need to be ready for that board of review to have all their requirements complete and then participate and pass that board of review in order to make their advancement for the Court of Honor in December. So if they're looking for that, mark that date and be ready. Then we're going to be doing our Wreath Ceremony again December 17th, right before we take our break for Christmas. Coming back in January, we're going to do our service day here at the church. We usually do an annual service day and help clean up the grounds and do some other projects at the church. The boys can earn some service hours, and we can help our charter organization kind of pay them back a little bit. And then the following Sunday morning on the 22nd of January is our Trailman Sunday, where all the families are invited to come and worship here at Christ Community that Sunday morning. Yes, sir. So this should have gone out with the email. The Rsvp calendar event had this in it. It's also, I will show you in a little bit later when we pull Connect up. This document is on Connect, so you can get on there anytime you want and pull it up as well. Yes. Yeah. I'm just trying to hit some of the big highlights. So then looking into February, we got our pancake breakfast on the calendar again for the 4th of February. That's usually our biggest fundraiser, so mark that down and invite all your friends. Then we've got another board of review scheduled for April 18th. Same deal, if those older trailmen are wanting to earn a rank or make advancement, that's the date they need to be ready for to pass their board of review before the Court of Honor on May 23rd. So those are the highlights for the troop calendar. Now I'm going to put on my Navigator Trailmaster hat since Mr. Fraser Thompson is not here tonight. He had to go on an unexpected work trip, so I will just talk briefly about the Navigator calendar as well. The badges that we're planning on working on for the Navigator Trailmen in August is going to be aquatics. So hopefully on that August 20th camp out, they should be able to earn their entire aquatics badge on that camp out. Then in September, we're going to be working on first aid. October, we're going to move on to trail skills. November and January, we'll continue with orienteering, and we'll also pick up the Our Flag badge in January. Then starting in February, we'll be working on rope work, and then March, April, we'll be going into Fire Ranger. After we get done, I've got the sheets with all the different requirements, so if you've got a navigator or adventure trailman that needs to work on those badges, we also need help kind of teaching the tasks and presenting them at the meetings and the campouts, so I would like everybody to kind of take a look at that stuff and see what you might be able to sign up to help teach or instruct this year as well, but we'll talk about that more just a little bit later. So I just wanted to reiterate too, for the navigators, there's 2 ranks that they can earn, so they can make their able rank. Well, if they first come in as their joining award, they'll be a recruit trailman, but then they can make their able rank, and they have to earn 4 of their core badges and 3 elective badges. That's their first rank, and then their second rank would be ready, where they have to complete all 9 core badges and have 5 total elective badges. So for the navigators and the adventurers, those of you that are new, those are the ranks that takes a little bit of initiative, because as these badges that I went through that we're going to be working on this year, those are mostly the core badges that we're trying to get through. So these elective badges are going to take a little bit of initiative at home. You're going to have to work on some of this stuff, decide what badges you want to work on, and the trailman's going to have to do some of that on his own and not rely on us to be teaching it all at the meetings. So I just encourage you to go ahead and get proactive with that. If they want to make their rank, kind of go through. I'll show you later again where you can see all this on Connect. You can look at all the elective badges that are out there. You can choose the ones that look interested to you. And also, just look around, because I guarantee you're probably doing something already. There's probably an activity that you participate in outside of trail life, or just something you do for fun as a family that will probably count towards one of these electives. So get you a long way to being complete before you even start. So go through and look at that stuff and be ready to choose your electives to make your rank. Yeah, and I think that's all I had for Navigator. So are there any questions about the Navigator stuff right now? Or any of the big things I said about the troop calendar? All right, Adam or Tom?
Well, good evening. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here and being a part. My name is Adam Bartlett. I am the Woodlands Trail Ranger. So did I get that right? So it's a new role for me, so I'm stepping into it this year. Last year I was what is called a trail guide, which means I helped out with a specific age group in the Woodlands Trail. And this year I've accepted the responsibility to be the Woodlands Trail Ranger to help bring oversight and oversee the Woodlands Trail, which is, for those that are newer, maybe trail life is from ages 5 years old to up to age 18. And so it's divided into 2 big categories. The adventurers and navigators are the older, more like high school age boys, and then Woodlands Trails is really elementary age boys. And then within Woodlands Trails, there's 3 different groups. There's the Foxes, There is the hawks and the mountain lions. So 5 and 6 year olds are the foxes, 7 and 8 are the hawks, and then 9 and 10-year-olds are the mountain lions. And that cutoff date for those ages is October 31st. So for example, my son, who is moving into the mountain lion, this is his first year, but he will turn 10 on November 28th, but it'll still be his first year. So when he turns 11 next year, he'll still be a mountain lion. So kind of like how school works, you have to be of that age before October 31st to move up. I don't think I think that's more confusing than when I started, but that's what it is. You can ask me afterwards, and we'll just ask you your son's or birthday, and we'll figure it out. But I thought I'd read a couple of things for those that are new. I just ripped some stuff off the Traillife USA website that I thought were good and why I'm excited about the year. Traillife USA is church-based, Christ-centered, boy-focused mentoring and discipleship journey that speaks to the heart of a boy. Established on timeless values derived from the Bible and set in the context of outdoor adventure, boys from kindergarten through 12th grade are engaged in a troop setting by male mentors where they are challenged to grow in character, understand their purpose, serve their community, and develop practical leadership skills to carry out the mission for which they were created. And then also this, adventure is at the heart of Traillife USA program. Boys love hiking, camping, fishing, tree climbing, playing the Nintendo Switch. I added that. Storytelling and s'mores around campfires, right? These are things we're trying to push our boys towards. But it's held outside whenever possible. Meetings are designed to delight the ruckus, rowdy, unruly nature of a boy. Young trailmen engage in hands-on experience that develop character, deepen faith, and hone practical skills in the 7 program branches. So this is specifically about the Woodlands Trail. So there are 7. So the goal for a Woodlands trailman would be to earn first off their badge, which they have a joining award, and they receive their badge, which is fairly simple. They have to do just 5 simple things. They have to know the Trailman oath. They have to know the Pledge of Allegiance, the handshake, the Trailman sign, and then they will earn they'll receive their badge. But within the badge, there's 7 different branches. It's the outdoor skills, life skills, heritage, hobbies, values, science and technology, and sports and fitness. So in the calendar, I basically took the overall calendar and kind of broke it out into different sections just to give you an idea. And I have these available for you if you are a parent of a Woodlands Trail age trailman or soon to be trailman. And I would love for you to take one of these so you have it, and I also can email it out to you so you have it digitally, and we can probably even put it on Connect, right, Brian, as well. We should be able to do that. So, but really, the idea basically is to earn badges. We have meetings that meet on the 1st and 3rd Tuesday of every month, and we'll have specific areas that we're focusing on for the month, and then we have extracurricular events that happen typically on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, or all of those depending on what it is. And we call those Hit the Trail. So if you hear us say Hit the Trail, it's really an extracurricular event outside of the troop meeting where the boys get to put some practical kind of hands-on experience to some of the things they learn. For example, one of our branches is values. So one of the values is service. So we'll talk about service and what that means and what that looks like. We'll talk about godly values. And then in January, like Brian mentioned, we have the opportunity to come here to the church and to serve the church in cleaning up and getting the facility looking nice, and the outdoor areas, cleaning up leaves and debris. So that's how they apply those things. So that's basically how it works for Woodlands Trails. I'm excited about the year ahead, excited about being able to invest in all these young boys and young men, and really see their growth and development this year. And I'll put my plug in too. We need as much help as we can get this year. This is volunteer driven, and we do our best. And so, we need your help this year if you can help. And then there's different levels where you can do that. Where you could come every other month and teach a lesson, or you could be what we call a registered adult, which is somebody that just goes through some simple protocols, and you're able to help manage some of the boys. Because when you got about 10 or 12, 5 or 6 year olds in a room, you need a lot of help, right? And so it requires a lot of bodies and a lot of people. So we need your help with all those different areas. So the commitment level is different degrees. And on this sheet, I've got my cell number on here. And if you're interested in something tonight, and I think we'll talk about it later, but you could just maybe, if you want to text me, that'd be great. If you're here tonight, we would love for you just to maybe look through this, circle something that you may be interested in potentially, and then you can hand it back to me with your name and number on it, and I would love to reach out to you later on. So thank you. Excited about the year. Sorry for going over my time probably too.
Hello, my name's Tom Podler. I'm the Adventure Advisor this year. Just a little bit about me. I've got 5 kids, got 4 boys and 1 girl. I've got 3 sons that are involved in my oldest is an adventure. Adventure group is ages 14 to 17, so it's basically high school. Navigators is more the middle school group, so just kind of picture that. And then I've got 2 sons of Navigators, and then my daughter is in American Heritage Girls. Going forward, the Adventures I think is like the pinnacle of it's. I think I have the best job here. I'm gonna have the most fun. We've got about 5 or 6 adventures, and if you have someone that's older and you think that it's too late for them, it's not too late. They can still get in there with this group of kids. They're really good kids. The group of kids, if you're new, a lot of them are homeschooled, some private schooled, some go to just regular school, so public school. So it's a big, different group of people, so don't think, if your kid's not homeschooled or, it's a cool group of kids. You've got a lot of great leadership in this group, if you're new, and you'll learn that as you get more involved. Brian was in the Army, served in the Army. He's an Eagle Scout, so he's got all that experience. We got a lot of Eagle Scouts. Nathan was an Eagle Scout. David, Eagle Scout. Firefighter. Were you an Eagle Scout too? No. No, sorry. I wasn't an Eagle Scout. We got another Eagle Scout over here. So and then we got a lot of military experience as well. I retired as a retired Navy, and then I didn't do Boy Scouts growing up, but served in the Army and the Navy as well. And then who else? We got Frazier, who's in charge of Navigators, he's an FBI. He's got some military experience as well. And then also have a lot of guys that are hardcore fishermen and hunters. And so it's a real diverse group of people, diverse group of experience. So your kids are going to learn a lot going on these camping trips from a lot of these guys. My goal as advisor, I want your kids to be able to come to our group and be connected with each other and have fun and model Christ to them. My goal is for them as they become men is to have an authentic relationship with Jesus Christ. So that's the goal. Like we can't do anything but that. That's the goal. I mean, so have fun and model what it's like to be a Christian, someone who serves Jesus. That's the goal of this whole program. We've got a great pastor, Pastor Joel back here. He does, in the beginning, he'll do little devotionals with the group as well. So Pastor Joel served as a missionary in China for 12 years, and he just came back here, so he's pretty new as a pastor here at this church. But a great man of God here to lead this group as well. So you're in good hands here, and there's a lot of protocols in place for all the sexual stuff, the harassment, the abuse. Your kids should never be alone with one leader, and we watch out to make sure that doesn't happen. That's real important to us because I know there's been some issues in the past. So adventures, it's adventure led. So it should be led by the kids that are in it. So I'm kind of advising them. Our goal is to have fun and the high adventure thing they did last year was they went to Southwest Colorado. Our kids didn't go, but the Traillife National was to go to Colorado, and they did like a week-long hike there. And our goal this year, so we have six boys, and we might have more, is to do something like that. I just found out they're not doing a national level high adventure this year, but that doesn't mean that we can't do our own. So that's something we're going to discuss with the kids. Do something backpacking somewhere, Colorado, or maybe we'll go to, somewhere. But the goal is, we did a lot of backpacking last year too, as well, and had a lot of fun. So when we meet, right now there's 2 meetings a month. The adventurers are going to try to go to 3 meetings a month and have our own meeting. 2 of those meetings, when we meet here, one of those will be with the Navigators, and then one will be on our own. And then we have different badge work to do. Trail Life, this unit is relatively new. It's only been here 3 years. This will be our 4th year. So there's some growing pains too. I know could be some frustrations with that people have been here with the badges, and we're working on that. Working on making it better, so the kids can achieve rank and get as many badges as they can. We're going to try to be helping that out this year. Especially, I was involved with the Navigators last year, and as an advisor, and now I'm taking over as the adventure leader. So, anything to add about that? All right. Anybody have any questions? All right. That's Joe.
My name is Joel Harding. I am the chaplain/shepherd of our troop here. So I'm just going to talk to you all about 2 things tonight. Number 1 is the Worthy Life Award. Most of you, some of you may know what that is, some of you may not, but it's a spiritual discipleship award that the kids can get, a badge they can get working through Trail Life each year. And I just want to simply convey to you what it is. It's just 4 things. And I'm holding the Woodland Trail Mountain Lion Award here. All of them are on Connect. You can download whatever group your child is. You can download the specific requirements, but all the requirements are in 4 categories. So it's devotional, discipleship, disciplines, and demonstration. So they have to complete those 4 things. So the devotional is some sort of Bible study, age appropriate, pretty straightforward with that. The discipleships are reading a book or participating in a weekend mission trip, things like that. Then disciplines are more like memorizing scripture, catechisms, things that require some discipline in their life. And then lastly, the demonstration one is where they stand up in front of the troop and they either give their testimony or they share what they've done through the Worthy Life Award, just as a way for them to demonstrate what God has done through them. So we really encourage your kids to be a part of this. It's a great way for them to learn the Bible with you, to study the Bible, get closer to God, and to earn an award while doing it. Along those lines, I will do devotions each Tuesday that we have a meeting up here. And my devotions will follow this family devotional. It's not required by any means. If you want to purchase this, I can help you purchase it, and your son or daughter, son in this case, can follow along through the schedule of this book, through each devotion, and can do some reading in the Bible each month. This will go a long way to helping him get the Worthy Life Award, but this is not at all required. This is just something I provide for you if you want to do it, but don't feel like you have to, okay? So if you're interested in that, just see me when we're finished. And again, look on Connect, Traillife Connect, and download the specific requirements for each one of your boys in the different age groups that they're in. The last thing I wanted to let you know about, the second thing, is each Tuesday night, I'm going to make myself available for about 30 minutes before the troop meeting. If any of your boys would like to come up and just do some one-on-one discipleship, maybe not one-on-one, but maybe 3-on-1, or however many boys come, we'll do it. We'll follow again. This family devotional is about prayer. Teach us to pray. It goes through the Lord's Prayer and the different aspects of prayer. So before each troop meeting, I'll just spend some time with the boys, just sharing some things, looking at the Bible together. Just a good time of discipleship. Again, not required at all, but if you are interested in that, we want to make that available. So I just wanted to let you know about that. Again, if you have any questions about any of this, see me afterwards. If you would like to order the devotional guide, or if you have more questions about this Worthy Life Award. Yes?
Just reiterate, so Worthy Life, like
Yes. Okay, good. Yeah, Worthy Life is not counting the things that we do at the meetings. It's outside the meetings. Our hope is that it's done with mom and dad, and that it's a family devotional discipleship atmosphere at home. And that's why I love these kinds of family devotionals that just give you something to do. You can do it once a week. You can do it 5 days a week. Just gather your family around the Word of God and share with them. It's the most important thing a father can do, I believe. So if you have any interest in that, please let me know. I'd love to walk through it with you and just help you in any way I can. I hope you don't feel any of this as a burden, just a supplement, something that can help you and your child grow in the Lord. So thank you.
I think I was typecast for this one. I'm going to be talking about the discipline problem, or discipline behavior policy. I was a discipline problem. Yes, my sons come by it naturally. We didn't have a name for it back then, but every story that's told to me points to that ADD thing, whatever. So at any rate, we do have a discipline policy we're implementing. We have carefully drafted this. Church leadership has reviewed it. It is available where? On Connect. Under the documents. When you first get there, if you skim down, you're about to see this, you'll go there. So, but I'm going to highlight a few things. I want to read the purpose and then talk about, it is a progressive step of discipline that we're talking about using. The purpose of this policy is to honor God and to train young men in the Lord, all while adhering to the Trailman's oath. Study that oath, parents. It is words to live by. It will allow us to maintain a healthy, respectful, and productive environment where trailmen can feel secure as they learn. And it goes on a little further that it does not replace the Trail Life policy. We have a list of behaviors. I'll give you those and we'll talk through how we will intend to work with your young men to make this a safe place for your boys to learn. If there's interrupting an adult or youth who is conducting training or an information session, that would be considered a rudeness, if nothing else. Horseplay or unnecessary physical contact. Cursing, disregard for safety, name calling, and repeated unappropriate answers or comments. Especially our younger boys, they love to be funny, and some of them have extraordinary sense of humor. But at times, it's inappropriate, especially when we're trying to teach. And we've got a dad or a mom who's in there teaching them a topic, and they can't get a word in edgewise. That's disrespectful and an issue. And finally, and maybe most importantly in this day and time, bullying. We will not tolerate bullying. So what do we do? Let's see, I got to come up because you got used all my Bible names. Hosea, a fine young Scot. Anyone have a Hosea in their family? No, good. Hosea is a fine young man, but he keeps interrupting the trail guide as he's trying to teach them knots. First of all, Hosea is going to get a verbal warning from a registered adult, either the trail guide or what we call registered adult. It will not come from a random person in the room. They will be trained on how to do this. If there is another incident within the same night, then Hosea will be pulled aside and will be asked to perform some age and physically appropriate exercise. It might be deep squats or running in place. He will not making fun of him, just want to let him know that he's now out of the program and the penalties to do some exercise. I know I could have certainly used that growing up. The third instance at the same gathering will require the trailman to step aside and to complete 2 additional sets of the same exercise. Again, keeping it very low key. The fourth instance during the same gathering will require the parent or guardian to remove their son from the meeting or activity. If a trailman is required to go through all 4 steps at a second event, now had to be removed once, comes back a month later and he's had straight sugar for dinner. No, we don't ever do that. If he has that, if he comes back a second time, the parent or guardian and the trailman must appear before the troop master and the troop committee chair and discuss additional solutions. We're trying to nip things down in a healthy way to have more order. The final egregious step is if a trailman again required to go through the 4 steps a third time within a semester, and we have 2 semesters, Christmas breaking them, the trailman will be suspended from the troop for 2 meetings. If the discipline problem continues, the troop master and troop committee will meet to discuss removing the trailman from the group for the remainder of the year. We pray that we don't ever get to these last steps, but it's possible, and we do have a process. If you as a parent want to appeal the troop and the troop committee's action, there's a procedure for doing that is outlined here. The troop master and troop committee do hold the final word, but you can certainly appeal it. If you have any questions afterwards, I'll hang around. And again, we love serving your boys. I've been doing scouting basically since I was 11, and to now be in Trail Life is such a relief and joy. But we thank you for trusting your young men to us, and we want to take care of them. Yes, Tom?
We've never really had that issue in Navigators, that we had to implement the policy like this for Navigators or adventurers. I can't speak to other trails, but and we don't want to
No.
make an issue of the kid or anything.
No.
It's not intended to do that. It's just, we have something in place, but
Yeah.
it's never been.
It's a policy that we have it in place, and we're not arbitrary. Again, structure is needed so that we do not, well, I just don't like Hezekiah. I can't spell his name. No. Again, if you have questions, please look at the policy. We will be asking parents to sign this, that they have read it and are in agreement, or sign it or say that you're not in agreement, and we'll talk about what that means at another time. Is that fair? Good to have you here tonight.
I'm Lindsay. I'm the treasurer for our troop, and I was just going to break down some of the fees that y'all are going to have to. Well, first look at my face because I'm going to be getting a lot of your money this year. I have 4 boys, so I'm going to be paying the same amount of money eventually. But we've had some instances in the past for these annual membership national fees. So those national fees do not come to me or the troop; they go to Traillife. So you will pay those when you register yourself on Traillife Connect. We've had instances where people pay me those fees, and then I have to what do you call it? I have to put it into our account and then reimburse you. So to avoid that, if it has cents behind it, that does not go to me. So those the youth fee and the adult fee are like a random fee. So that will go. You will pay that when you register. The youth fee you will have to pay if you have a registered child, but the adult fee you only have to pay that $35 if you choose to be a registered adult. And that means a registered adult is that you have to go through the child safety training, and that counts toward our ratio for the boy to adult ratio. You don't have to teach unless you want to, but you just get a red lanyard, a fancy red lanyard if you pay that fee for the adult. And then our troop fee, we encourage everybody to do that. But I do that. I'm a registered adult, and I don't teach. I just am a number to help rally the kids. And then our troop dues are $50 for our troop, and that will go to me. And those are separate from our national fees, and that goes towards the badges and the pins that the boys will earn throughout the year. Our Hit the Trails, you'll pay me for those. Not all of them cost money, and there's one a month. I'm not sure what all of them are exactly right now, but we've done like high point climbing and those costs. We've gone to see IMAX movies and those costs, but if we hike or do something like that, those won't cost. And then the goal for camping for the older boys is to be $7 per meal per person. So that's the goal, is to not be more than that. And there's some more fees attributed to the uniforms, the uniform requirements, but my husband will talk about that in just a second. So yeah, I'll let him do that.
All right, so I'm Matt Herndon. I'm her worst half. I'm the onboarding chair. So a lot of the new parents that you've been kind of emailing with me, talking via email, we're just going to break down uniform requirements for the boys. Require the troop uniform shirt, which David is wearing, the shoulder loops, which go to their age, the patrol, younger boys patrol, navigators, adventurers, they all have different shoulder loops. Activity shirt, and then the uniform belt. I'm skipping something there, but the uniform belt, we don't require pants from the shop, but we do require the belt in hopes that you get your boys pants that need a belt. And then so you look up at the belt, just pants with a belt loop. The shop has more khaki style. That's usually what most of the boys wear. I haven't seen anybody get in trouble for wearing blue jeans, but
The belt loop does, so the pants,
so
the belt loops won't fit. So just, you're gonna go shopping for, just know that.
so the pants and then closed-toe shoes. Those are not things that you have to get on the shop, but they do have to wear closed-toe shoes for all events here. And then the cap, which is green on green for boys. Is that correct? They have three or four different colors.
We have some that already have the tricolor.
Yeah, so if your boy already has a tricolor hat, that's fine. We're not going to make you go buy the green on green. But if you're new or don't have a hat, the green on green is what we're looking for the boys. And then the handbook, that's also a handbook and lanyard are on y'all as well to purchase. And all that comes to right around $129. That's going to be on you from the shop.
Those uniform shirts run big.
They run big. And also, if you are thinking $129, that's a lot, we do have a closet. It's not a big one yet, but we work on trying to do some trading. If anybody who's aged out of their shirt and they don't have anybody below them in the family, they can donate the shirt to our closet. And we do have a couple of, and right now it's just the troop.
Probably more like Fox and Hawk ages, I guess.
Yeah, but it's also usually just the uniform shirt. We don't have much other than that in there yet. The only other thing that I'm supposed to be talking about is we are this year going to enrollment windows for all the new parents. We are going to only allow enrollment for each semester for a certain period of time because we've been bombarded constantly with new kids throughout the year. And all the leaders are having trouble trying to keep track of who's part of the troop and what they've earned. So this year, September 20th is your last chance to enroll for this semester. But then after that, the January 31st will be your last chance to enroll for the next semester. We've talked about prorating, so if you enroll for just one semester, you'd only pay for the 25 for the second semester. And that's new this year. We're gonna probably just keep that up just to help the leaders keep track of everything.
So now this September 20th, and then
Yeah.
basically the month of January.
Yes, now to September 20th. If you don't make it by September 20th, your next chance will be into January. So for this year. Any questions for me?
All right. Now that all the fun stuff's out of the way, I'm going to go over Traillife Connect here as best I can. See if that is kind of hard to see back there. So for those of you who don't know, Traillife Connect it's the website where we kind of track everything. This is where if you get emails or calendar events and RSVPs and stuff, it all comes from this website. The troop roster's in here, all the Trailman's advancement and awards are all tracked through Connect. And everybody that's registered, adults and trailmen, should have an account so they can log in and look at their own profile or look at your son's profile as well. So I'm going to, I guess, do my best just to walk through a few things, because these are common questions that I get all the time throughout the year. So just make sure that everybody understands what Connect is and how to use it. So as you can see, I'm logged in as my wife, because if you see the Troop Masters account, there's all sorts of extra stuff on there. So I'm trying to make it look as much as what you guys might see as possible. So when you log in, you'll start out at your dashboard. And it'll look something like this. One of the most common, you'll see down here, there's a counter, and it'll show you something like here tonight. We've got the parent meeting going on, and look, I guess I RSVP'd to come. There's some upcoming events that's listed, but if you come up here to calendar, you can either go here or over here on the left menu and click on calendar. It'll actually take you to our full calendar. So if you'll see, like for tonight, we've got the parent meeting going on. If you click on this, it'll give you the description of what this event is. It'll also give you the option to RSVP for yourself or your family members. If you click on the change RSVP or RSVP if you haven't done it already, then you'll see it. You can select whether you're going, not going, or maybe you don't know yet. You can bring guests if that's allowed for this event. You can also put a note in there. There will be times throughout the year where we might ask you to put a note. There might be multiple things happening at one of the campouts or something. We'll ask you to put a note to kind of clarify what it is that you're exactly participating in. All right, I think that's it for there. So I'll just reiterate again, for the calendar events and the RSVP, this is like going to be one of the most important things. I mean, it always has been, but we really are going to try to lock down on that this year, because as leadership, and especially as we've got the adventurers kind of coming up, they're going to be having their officers conference. They're going to be trying to plan the campouts and plan some of the logistics and stuff like that. So we're going to have ahead of time our events scheduled and RSVPs completed, payments made to Lindsay, so that we can do that planning ahead of time and be prepared well before the campout. So like I said, even if you're not going, we need you to come in here and click not going, so that we can see that you've responded. Or if you are going, make sure that you get RSVP'd before the deadline, which is going to be the first Monday of the month, which is before our officers conference on that Tuesday meeting.
Where are the majority of our camping trips?
Where are they? The majority are going to be at state parks. They're going to be Meem and Shelby, Big Hill Pond is the majority. We're also planning a trip, hopefully, to either Shiloh or Fort Pillow on Veterans Day, and I think that's the bulk of them right now. But yeah, so hit the trails and campouts, RSVPs this year. Also, we'll get into that here just a little bit more after this Connect class, but we're shorter this year on adult leadership than we've ever been. So I'm actually going to start requiring RSVPs for the troop meetings on Tuesdays as well, because I'm going to have to be able to see and make that call on Monday who all is going to be here, mainly how many adults we're going to have here, so that I can decide whether or not we have enough adults to actually do all of the patrols, or whether we're going to have to cancel select patrols because we don't have enough leadership here to complete the meeting. So make sure that you're logging on, checking your calendar. You'll get email invites with links, but you don't need to use that email. You can come straight here to Connect, click on the calendar, and get to the RSVP. So next, yeah, if you go to, you got a profile here or a profile over on the left. If you click on the profile, you've got your profile, and you can update your profile if anything needs updated. You can put your first aid, if you got first aid training, you can put your certification and stuff in there. interests, hobbies, anything you think we might need to know to kind of help run the troop. You can go into your profile. Also underneath your profile, if you see your household is over here on the right-hand side, so you can go look at your son's profile as well. All right, and so within your son's profile, there's a place here where it says print ID card. So this ID card, you can pull this up, the PDF, you print it out, and that's what goes in their lanyard. So when they wear their lanyard and they come to the meeting, just like David's got on right now, you can print that out right here from Connect to put in their lanyard to wear. All right, and then also from your son's profile, if you look up here at the top, there's additional menus here. So if you click on advancement, this is going to show you where your trailman is at on the badges or the pins that he's working on. You can get on there and see when the Court of Honor is coming up, like before the border review, you can get on here and see what has your trail guide already entered. And has he earned that pin or that badge yet, or what tasks he may still need to complete before the Court of Honor coming up.
Hey, Brian.
Yes.
Do I need to have a profile and my wife, or is there a way to link the two?
You can.
I saw the household thing.
Yeah, you can both get on. If one of you has a profile already, you can. Well.
Because I know sometimes she's gonna probably answer in Rsvp, and sometimes maybe it's me.
Yeah, I don't see that. Maybe that's because we already have 2 adults. But I thought that just where it says add son, I thought there was also an add adult to the household. I'm pretty sure I have an add adult to the household.
Update profile, maybe? Look at it, see what it.
Where would? See,
You skipped it.
what? I think that's email. I think is what it is. I think because this is my wife's account, like I said, because mine's got a whole bunch of other stuff on it. But I think because I'm listed like as the head of the household, I think on my account there's a button that says add adult to the household. And so that's what I did. I added her and created her account. So you should, well, one of you, whoever's in there as the head of the household should be able to, I think, add adult. Is that what you have, Adam? Add a parent, yeah. So like Adam's got add a parent to on his. And I think if I logged in as myself, I would have that on mine as well. So, and then you can just add that into your household so she can get the emails and everything as well. All right, so back here to Trailman. So yeah, you can look under activities. So assuming we've all done our job correctly and entered these events the right way, it should show the events that a trailman has attended, and if it counts towards a camp out or hit the trail or something, it should start logging those if we mark them in the system as attended. So you'd be able to see that here to see how he's doing on attending all of his activities. There's also a place for you to start logging service hours. So I believe the parent can actually put the service hours in here, and then they just have to be approved by the trail guide. To like these ones with the red X, I think have not been approved by the trail guide yet, but once they are, they'll turn into the green check mark, so you can see how many service hours they have for the navigators and adventurers as they're working towards their service star each year.
Is that troop activities? Is that, can a parent do that?
I don't think the parents.
So only service hours is the only one that.
Well, no, I think it looks like you can. Looks like you can put things in as a parent. I think it's probably.
Or John, if your son can.
Well, this is Danielle's account though. So yeah, so this would be yeah.
Go up instead of John.
Well, that's his.
That's
Yeah, I'm logged in as Danielle here, and I'm just looking at his profile. But yeah, like as a parent, you can put that. Yeah, the older boys, you could probably speak better to that, Tom. But I think they can enter some stuff too, right? Or
Yeah, we're gonna have to look.
yeah, so we're working that out still with the adventurers. But I know the parents can get in here if you need to add events or service hours or something that they have done. You can enter that here, and then it just has to be confirmed by the trail guide before it is completely entered into the system. But like I said, you enter it here, and they can see it just like these. I just put a couple things in for John this afternoon, so it's like they haven't been confirmed by his trail guide yet, but you see the red X's there. I've entered them so the trail guide can look at them. Yeah, I think that's it. So that's it for the profile. The other thing to look at back here from your dashboard, just kind of going on across, you can, where'd it go? There it is, badges. So if you click on badges, it's either right here or you can come over here to advancement, and you got badges and awards. It takes you to the same place, and you'll see here these are all the Woodland Trail branches and badges up at top. And then down here we get into the Navigator and the Adventurer badges. And for each one of those, if you're wondering what does it take to earn the camping badge, you can click on that. And all the requirements are right here. These are also in your Trailman's handbook, but you can log on here as a parent. It's all right here on Connect. If you want to see, why isn't my son getting the camping badge yet? Well, here's the requirements, and if you think he's fulfilled them, then that's a conversation we need to have with the trail guide to see how we can get the records updated. And if not, this is what he still needs to do. But everything is here. So like when Adam's talking about, we're doing something on the values branch for Woodland Trails. You can come up here and you can look at, these are all the different steps that we have to complete in order to earn a pin for values. What's that? Yeah. You don't have to do all of those. Yeah. You in 2 years you will do all of the core steps and some of the elective steps, but
Woodlands Trail stuff really doesn't carry over into Navigators.
no.
If kids didn't do Woodlands Trails and they start Navigators, they're not that.
Yeah, you're not behind. Yeah, Woodland Trails is about kind of exposure and participation and getting them ready to move on to Navigators. But if you haven't participated in Woodland Trails or you didn't earn all your pins, you're definitely not behind to enroll in Navigators or Adventurers. So what else did I have on here? Okay, yeah. So then the other thing, so documents. Come over here to documents and resources. Well, the health and safety guide, that's like a 100-page document that has all the health and safety requirements by Traillife Corporate that we're supposed to be following. So if you are so inclined to want to look at that stuff, help yourself. But what you're probably going to want to look at is resources. And there's a whole bunch of different training documents and stuff you can find. One thing in particular, we had asked you, and I put a link in the email that I sent for you to bring your medical forms tonight. But if you didn't actually, I don't have a keyboard. This is what I do need a keyboard for, Joel. Can you type medical into that box there for me? And then just hit enter. Yeah, so if you just type medical into that, it'll immediately come up. So here's your adult medical form, the high adventure medical form, the youth participant medical form. So if you need that stuff, that's all right here on Connect. The other thing from right here, right next to resources, you have the troop documents. If you click on that, there's a consent waiver release. So that's if you bring a guest to something, you need to have one of those. Here is, this is the calendar that I had up at the beginning. There's a PDF of that calendar. So if you want to look at what I was talking about, it's got the whole year, all of our our campouts and meetings on the calendar on a printout if you want to see it. I was just making notes tonight. I'm also going to add Adam's calendar that he had up there, and I'm also going to add the discipline policy, so you'll see those will all be right there if you want to look at any of that stuff. I'll add them to the troop documents right here. All right, and then the only other thing I would say, this Traillife University, they have there's some different like video training classes and just different things you can take that's kind of neat. One thing I would we encourage everybody to become a registered adult so you can help us with our 2 Deep leadership and help supervise the children at the trailmen at the campouts and the meetings. But then after that, the next step would be this Peak 1 and Peak 2. These are just kind of some video trainings that kind of help you understand what trail life is all about and what it means to be a leader within trail life and just kind of the basic concept of what we're trying to accomplish. So after you become a registered adult, if you're so inclined, you could start, watching some of these to just learn a little bit more about the organization and what it is we're trying to do at the meetings and activities that we do. I would encourage you all to do that, but that's through the Traillife University. So I think that was it. Is there anything I missed on Connect that, yes, Tracy?
I don't know if it's on Connect, but you mentioned that you'd like people to become registered adults to just help out. How do you do that?
Yes, well, just let me know. If you would like to become a registered adult, you can let me know. I will send you a link through Connect, and that'll, so then when you log on to your dashboard, it'll immediately prompt you that you've got, you're gonna have to pay what was it, $33 or $35 or whatever it was. And then you've got to do the background check. You've got to complete the child safety training. Was there something else? And references, yeah. So references, background check, and child safety training after you pay the $35.
So like you said, if you're going to be at the meeting anyway, if you're a registered adult.
That would be helpful, yeah, because then we can count you as a.
And moms can do that.
Yes, yeah, moms can, yeah. So for the Foxes and the Hawks, so what is that? The 5-year-olds through 8-year-olds, moms can participate pretty much in anything at that age group. And then after that, they're not supposed to be in a it's supposed to be only men in the direct leadership or direct contact positions. But we can still, if we need to, we can still use moms if you're going to be there as that, overwatching second adult or whatever to make sure everybody's being safe as well. So that's why we just strongly encourage everybody to at least do the registered adult, because then if you're going to be there, you count.
If they are registered adults, they do need to wear.
Yes, all the registered adults wear the red lanyards, and you will have a name. Your name tag has to be signed off by David that you've completed all that stuff. But then you wear that. I'm sorry.
You don't have to have a uniform.
You don't have to have a uniform, but we would like you to wear the lanyard just so we can easily identify who is a registered adult. We know we've got, we got enough where we need to have them. I guess real quick before I move on, any other questions about Connect? Everybody, yes.
For the medical form, that's not something that we can upload to the website.
No, that's something we need a hard copy here. You can print it off on the website, and that's why I would recommend you can download that as PDF, but you can fill it out one time and you can save that PDF filled out to your computer. So because that has to be resubmitted every year. So like this year I basically just pulled mine up, I changed my age and the date on it or whatever, and just printed it out again, signed it, and you're good to go. So I would encourage you to just do that on your home laptop or whatever.
And it does ask for shot records, but if you exempt your family from that, there's a sheet that you have to fill out a special to get a signature on, that you turn in with that.
Yeah, vaccines are not, it asks for them, but they're obviously not required to participate in the program. You just fill out the waiver form. So yeah, anything else on Connect? Because the main thing with that is making sure you know how to get to the calendar and the Rsvps, because like I said, we're going to need that for everything, including meetings this year. And then the next thing that Nathan was going to talk about is basically just more parent participation. So as I mentioned a couple times throughout the meeting, we are very short on leaders this year. We've lost a few leaders since last year, and we are asking if at all possible for people to volunteer and help out wherever they can. The first and most important things we need are trail guides. So the trail guides, ideally we'd have at least 2 of them for each patrol, each age group. Right now, we don't have any for the foxes. We have 1 for hawk and 2 for mountain lion, of which we have 2 patrols of mountain lion. So, and I think we're not looking too bad for the navigators and the adventurers right now. But ideally, we would have 4 or 5 more trail guides. So, trail guides are people.
There were a lot of kids last year. This place was.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah, we grew like 67% or something like that last year, but unfortunately we didn't really gain too many adults with all the influx of the trailmen. So, and then we've lost a couple of our trail guides that have been with us for a few years, so we're stretched a little thin right now. So if at all possible you feel like you want to take on that responsibility of being a trail guide, talk to myself or Adam or Tom, somebody here, we can give you some more information about that. But basically they're the ones that are working with the boys the most every night. They're kind of the shepherds of their patrols and their age group. They're the direct mentors that are working with them and presenting the skills, teaching the information, but then also, like I said, just acting as a shepherd and a mentor for their development. In addition to that, because I know a lot of parents may not be able to take on the responsibility of every week being here to be a trail guide, we're trying something a little bit different where we're trying to offer just opportunities to come in and maybe just teach one of these steps or some of the badge requirements each meeting. So maybe you're not going to be a trail guide, but you would kind of come in just for 2 or 3 meetings a year to assist the trail guide and say like maybe we're doing rope work in the spring and you're like, hey, I know a lot about ropes, I can tie knots, I can come in for a meeting and teach these 3 or 4 knots. Well, you can, I'm going to have sheets up here tonight that you can look at before you leave if there's anything that you're interested in that you say, hey, that looks like a skill that I could help out with. I think I ran the math, I sent an email out a couple months ago. I think with all the families that we have, if every family committed to doing like 3 things a year, we would cover all of the campouts and all of the meetings, all the tasks would be covered. If you just committed to 3 times a year coming in and teaching or helping out with something. So you don't necessarily have to volunteer as a trail guide, but if you can volunteer to do something like that, say I've got this camp out or I've got this meeting to help teach, that would be a big help as well.
You need to be registered adults.
To teach? Yeah. Not if we have,
If they're 2
right. Yeah, so like I said, yeah, I encourage everybody to just be a registered adult and just do that if at all possible. But yeah, as long as we had 2 other registered adults at the meeting, you would not need to be a registered adult just to come in and teach knots or something either. Exactly, yeah, Grandpa's in town, he knows a lot of knots, he can come and teach. Yes.
Are you referring to just the younger folks, or when you're talking about the need for parents and different things?
Yeah, it's really the need for everything, yes. So, because yeah, we've got a lot of boys and a lot of stuff to teach, and so like week in, week out, trying to put that same responsibility just on the handful of trail guides we have, it becomes a lot just for those trail guides too. So I'm just asking everybody as much as possible to be able to pitch in and help out where you can. And I think that's how we become stronger as a group too, because you know what, like I know knots pretty well, but I may not know first aid that well. You know what? But Matt's an EMT. So like it would be much better if Matt said, "I'll teach first aid and let me teach the ropes." We're going to be stronger as a group that way too. So I know we've got like 40 different families involved in this program. So I know that there's somebody out there that's good at. There's a person that's good at just about everything that we've got to teach. And so to have me or Tom or Adam or somebody stand up there every week and teach, like that's not necessarily going to be the best instruction for the boys either. So I want to try to tap into everybody's abilities and at the same time be able to try to lighten the load on the leaders that are there every week is kind of the goal as far as that goes. So yeah, if you're interested in, interested or not, I would ask you to, right afterwards, I've got all the sheets for the navigators. They'll be up here, and then Adam's got his sheet for the Woodland Trail. So after we're done here in just a few minutes, before you leave, I would ask you to at least take a look at those sheets, and if you could, if you see 2 or 3 things that you're like, hey, I think I could help with that, put your name on those sheets tonight so that we can then get in touch with you and try to, because we can work around your schedule a little bit too if you can't make it to every meeting, as long as we know that that's something that you want to do. In addition to that, so trail guides, and then helping to teach at the meetings and the campouts, we also can do additional committee positions. So we used to have a health and safety chair. We don't have that anymore. So that's helping us organize these medical forms and making sure we're doing all the correct safety stuff for our campouts and trips and stuff like that, helping us organize all that if that's your lane of expertise. We're also needing a fundraising chair. If anybody likes fundraising or has ideas for projects like that, that would be a way that you could help us out also. We're also looking for like a troop quartermaster. We're hoping to be able to purchase some troop equipment this year, which we haven't done a whole lot of yet, but we've saved up some funds and we're looking forward to purchasing some stuff. But with that, we need somebody to kind of help us make sure we keep accountability of that and make sure it's stored properly and whatever. So if you're interested in helping us out in that capacity, and then also event coordinator, you could just help us in planning the different campouts and events and stuff, and like making reservations and coordinating food and stuff like that. Those are all different positions, and we can make other positions. If you've got some sort of expertise that you think you might be able to help the troop out in organizing or managing some portion of what we're doing, come hit one of us up and let us know, and we'll find a way to put you to work. So. Thinking, what else? Anything that I've missed tonight? All right, so I think with that, that's all that I had on my list of things we needed to talk about tonight. So if you brought your medical forms, I can collect them up here before you leave. If you haven't brought your medical forms, please bring them to the first meeting, because we've got to have those medical forms completed every year. They need to be on file for the meetings and the campouts and hit the trails. Yes, that's up here. Yeah, so things before we leave is, Lindsay's got the sign-in sheet to say that you've been briefed and know of the discipline policy. And I'll just reiterate too, that discipline policy, I think Adam and Tom said, it's not like we had a rampant problem with discipline within the troop. However, when you got, especially with Adam's age group, with the younger boys, they got a lot of energy sometimes, and they've been at school all day or whatever, and they get here and they're kind of bouncing off the walls. And kind of the intent, Traillife has a policy, it's on Connect, about dealing with sin and member boys. That's a more formal policy about like serious violations of conduct. This is more for like, boys can't sit still, they can't keep their hands to themselves and stuff. Like, we're just wanting permission. Can the trail guide say, hey, go run a lap, or do 5 push-ups or something? Just something to try to get the energy out and redirect the focus, and then continue on with the meeting. We're not trying to make this discipline policy a big serious thing, but that's kind of the intent behind it, just to give the trail guides a little extra thing to deal with some of the minor offenses that they encounter during the meetings.
These were in the extra in the storage room, so.
Yeah. So the hand-me-down uniforms, if you're new, or if you've outgrown your troop uniform shirt, you can look at sizes before you leave.
Yeah, these are probably the most expensive thing you'll buy individually clothing-wise, because they're just like $45, $50. But
Yeah.
size they are. Some was a medium, small, I mean, they're all
Yeah,
pretty
I think, yeah, most of them are probably Woodland Trails sort of size.
Probably
But
mostly wooden trails, so if you're new, I mean, just come check them out, man. They're all pretty small.
yeah, so
You can see that. There's like 4 of them.
there you go. So check out the shirts. Sign off on the sheet with Lindsay for the discipline policy. Then also look at the badges and steps and sign up for things that you might be interested in help instructing before you get out here, and turn in your medical forms. So medical forms, badges, discipline policy. All right. Any other questions?
Hey, Brian,
Yes.
when you register as an adult, you do the national fee, do you pay the local fee as well?
No, the local fee is just for the trailmen.
Just for the trailman?
The local fee mainly just covers like their badges and awards and stuff that they're going to earn throughout the year.
A couple weeks ago, you said you were gonna place an order for shoulder.
I did, and it shipped like probably 2 weeks ago or so, and from Nashville, and it's still in transit from Nashville. So I'm assuming what that means from my understanding of what that means, because it shipped through the post office, is what that means is that they've got a truck probably sitting in a yard somewhere here in Memphis, and whenever they get caught up on all their Amazon orders, they will receive that truck and deliver our stuff. So I haven't asked for anybody to pay me any money. I'll wait till I have it on hand. But supposedly, I'm hoping it's going to be here before the first meeting. I was hoping to have it all tonight. Like I said, I expected it to be here a couple weeks ago, but it's still in transit apparently.
And the national fee you'll pay on Connect. The troop fee will go, we have a PayPal and a Venmo
Right.
account
Okay.
that I can give you the information for to pay into that.
And when is that due, now or at the first meeting?
The first meeting probably. Or you can bring a check too if you want to.
Was there another question?
If the boys don't have all their uniform items the first night, that doesn't stop them from being able to go, right?
Yeah, just be working on getting, like I said, obviously, even if you order them, they may not. It takes a while to get here from Nashville, apparently. So, yeah, just do your best to get them as soon as possible. But yeah, don't skip the first meeting if you don't have it yet. Any other questions? All right, we are going to attempt to, we've recorded this tonight, especially the Connect portion, so we're going to attempt to download that and make that available too. So if you ever do want to go back and, hey, where was that calendar at or something, we're going to try to figure out how to post the video of tonight as well. So that's all I've got. Thank you guys for coming out. Like I said, just please, before you go, come up and take a look, hand in your forms, sign your sheet, and sign up to help instruct something.